Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, hey folks, sampler for you series of easy, but if we want to go over there, try food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. This is review number 4 in a row. I am winding down a little bit. So, but folks, super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm inside the truck. Whilst I'm inside the truck, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when that's the case and those two things coincide, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is definitely the case today because it's getting out of work. It was all super exciting because I got a day off of work, you know, a 3-day weekend and everything. Like, woo! Party down at Cabo. And then I started doing reviews, and I'm having a good time and everything. But now I'm 4 reviews in, and my body is like, fucking 37, bitch. If you even show up within, 100 miles of Cabo, they'll have you shot. That's fair. That's fair. But anyway, I am going to review a thing for you, and it's going to be the last thing that I review today, hopefully, because, quite frankly, I just don't have that same spark that I did when I first started doing these reviews. Things are weighing me down. Boom! It's this! It's Utz. U-T-Z. Utz. I'm calling them Utz. Utz. Mike's Hot Honey, naturally and artificially flavored with other natural flavors. Potato chips. They're hot honey potato chips. Woo! Okay. And apparently they're flavored with Mike's Hot Honey, infused with chili. Hot honey is this, weird, kitschy thing that's, really kind of broken out in the last couple of years. I did a review of some ice cream, some hot honey ice cream from Van Leeuwen. I have an entire playlist of Van Leeuwen, by the way. It's an ice cream brand. I really enjoyed that. I think, Buffalo Wild Wings? I want to say they have, a hot honey sauce right now. It's become a thing. Utz, the potato chip brand. I'm sure they're gluten-free. I'm sure I've had Utz in the past. I've certainly seen them around a million times. I'm not opposed to trying out their stuff. I just haven't in a while. Got creepy little doll girl on the front over there taking some shit. I mean, I know it's supposed to be oh, she's just grabbing herself some potato chips. These are my potato chips. I paid $2.49. I didn't say you could have any. Okay, and that's not cool because, I'll share. Just ask. Got a thing on the back. The original Brooklyn, New York Mike's Hot Honey. Find Mike's Hot Honey in the honey aisle. I don't typically go to the honey aisle very often, but sure. Get ready to experience game-changing hot honey flavor. Utz teamed up with Mike's Hot Honey to cover a classic Utz potato chips with a 1-2 taste punch of honey flavor, then heat. Just one bite of this seriously delicious chip will have you reaching into the bag for more. Like this bitch? Taking my fucking potato? I don't appreciate that. Let's try a thing. Now, I bring this up whenever I go over there and I do potato chip reviews, stuff like that, because it annoys the piss out of me. But, I will say this one's not that bad. So here's the bag, right? You can see it. It's got the little greedy bitch taking my stuff. That's how many actual potato chips you get. It's like half the bag. I will say this is not the worst that I've seen. And I will say, the chips themselves, it's not a terrible looking chip. Doesn't have a lot of smell to it. Give it a go. Trying to swish it around my mouth a little bit. Get all of the flavor. That's not bad. Again, I'm sure I've had Utz before, but I couldn't fucking tell you when. I'm kind of surprised at their chips, because, they're very good at maintaining their shape. I'm kind of surprised they aren't crispier. I was almost expecting them to be, a little bit more like kettle chips, having, a real crispness. But they don't. And mind you, that's not, a huge knock against them. It's just, expectation versus reality. they're fine. I mean, I guess I could say they, to a limited extent, they remind me of like maybe a honey barbecue kind of chip, but obviously without like really the barbecue flavor. I mean, it's a nice combination. You've got the saltiness from the chip, the heat, and the sweetness from the honey. That works out pretty nice. The heat is there. It's not particularly hot, but it does, as you eat more of them, it does kind of fill your mouth up a little bit. There's a little something there. I don't think it would bother too many people, but if you're somebody who's, sensitive to that type of stuff, maybe not, might not be for you. That is like a big ass potato chip. Big ass potato chip, look at it. It's like the size of my head. I think if I ever had oots, it might have been when I was a kid. These are definitely reminding me more of like potato chips when I was a kid. Yeah, they're okay. I like them for what they are, but I definitely have some critiques. For one, I think more hot honey flavor would have been nice. And that's a balance thing, and that's just, my personal thing. I think a little bit more. I think the problem is, like I said, these kind of remind me of potato chips when I was younger. One of the things I mean by that is I remember even being a kid, like getting barbecue potato chips, and I love barbecue potato chips. They're fantastic. But I remember even as a kid being like, man, these could have a lot more flavor, I feel like. And as the years have gone by, that's exactly what we've gotten. Like, potato chips and stuff are way more flavorful than they used to be, I personally feel. Not all of them, but, with these, it feels like that older style, where it's like, yeah, you're definitely tasting the hot honey, but I don't feel like I'm getting quite the oomph that I would like out of it. I feel like if they'd gone over there and amped that up a little bit, these might have been a little bit more spectacular for me, but they're good, and I kind of understand why maybe they didn't, because, if they're too hot, then they're more of a spicy chip. They're too sweet, I kind of get it, but for me, I think my penultimate version of this would have been, again, just more of that hot honey flavor. The chips themselves are okay. They're definitely not my favorite potato chip. Like, they have, like, kind of an interesting texture, and like I said, they have, like, an odd stability to them. But they don't have that crispness, that, like, bite that I usually like from chips. They have structure, but they break apart relatively easily. They're not bad. They're very decent. Like, I don't expect a lot from Oots. And I don't mean that to be, like, an asshole to their company or anything. It's just, when I think of chip brands and, like, them doing, like, weird and exciting things, I think, like, Doritos or Cheetos or, like, Lay's, they're always doing stuff. Oots is like, and I don't know when they were founded. Maybe it was, like, 6 years ago for all the fuck I know. But they feel like that older style. So I'm not, like, looking out for Oots in their news. So it was cool when I saw this, because it was like, oh, that's neat. But I do kind of feel like if Lay's or one of those other companies had gotten a hold of this, like even Fritos maybe, I feel like you would have gotten something that had a little bit more impact to it. But 2 questions have to be asked, folks. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Maybe and kinda. I like them. I don't love them, though. And that's the thing, because I know I could. Like, I know that it's there. I love the combinations. I love what they're doing. It's like, yes. But it's like, I almost want to go out to the store and, like, buy some hot honey and dip these in hot honey to get the experience that I want. I just feel like they're a little subdued, and I feel like in the modern era of potato chips, I feel like, demand more from your potato chips. But, they're, like I said, they got kind of an older style. And they're not bad. I could see maybe getting them again, every now and again. As for recommending them, try them. They're not bad. And I think, if you're... Now, the only people who maybe have issue, maybe you'd have a little bit of issue. Like I said, if you're somebody who's sensitive to spicy stuff, it might not be for you. The only other people would be like people who, like I said, if you're expecting like a lot of flavor. You know, it's not quite there. It's there, there's a little, you know, but it's not that oomph. That oomph. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of much spenders rest of your folks. You can go over there and have yourselves a truly oots-tastic rest of your life, I guess. Because, I mean, does it say when you were founded? I feel like it should, because it seems like you're old. It's from Hanover Park. That's cool. How old are you? I feel like this is one of those things where, like, they've been around long enough that they should, like, have that on their thing. Like, founded in 1847. Doesn't look like I got a thing. But, anyway. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not as possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But, we can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. You know, I'm over here. I got a good day ahead of me. You know, it's a 3-day weekend. Oh, love it. Gonna enjoy myself. Just relax. Maybe see some friends and family. It's a good time. But, at the end of the day, it's not always going to be a good time. Sometimes it's going to suck ass. When that occurs, it's important we go over there, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you know the Oots people, okay? And maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to be like, hey, look, Oots people, I watched this fat guy on the YouTube and he was saying that you could do more with your chips. But then it turns out that the Oots people, they really are from, like, 1846. They're, like, these eldritch, like, fucking, you know, forest folk creatures with their Oots empire from the shadows. You know, as they go over there and they slowly influence the potato chip market. And, you know, it's like a conspiracy thing, but, like, you know, everybody's been in on it and stuff. And it's one of those, like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge type of deals, you know. And, you know, by the end of things, you know, you go over there, you try to break this story, but nobody cares. No, nobody cares. Maybe that Breen guy who does those terrible jackassy movies, but I commend him for at least doing them. I can't think of his name, but his last name is definitely Breen. Neil Breen, I think, is his name. Maybe he'll go over there and make a movie about it. So now you got Neil Breen playing you. He's like 80? I don't know how old Neil Breen is. But I know it'll be weird, and it'll definitely get people to react to it on the internet. Bye.